Hi everyone, welcome to the Technoli Talks. Today we have in our studio Mr. Supun Kaluarachchi, who is the co-founder of Futurity. Supun, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Saminder. I'm glad you invited me.
Okay, so first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself, your background, and as well as about Futurity.
I would say I'm a business engineer, an engineer focused on solving business problems, right? So we use multiple disciplines, whether it's a software solution, whether it's an embedded system. Like the discipline doesn't matter actually, but we are focused in solving business problems. So, like I started as a mechanical engineer, as a consultant. Uh, and then gradually, like while I was in that domain, the same thing I did, I solve problems, right? So engineering is that, solving problems. So now, but even though I started as a mechanical engineer, now it's sort of a multidisciplinary engineering solution architect sort of a thing. So after that, after like this was few years back, I switched from mechanical engineering to software engineering. Like we offer software solutions, whether it's fintech solution, whether it's an enterprise solution, even if it's something simple as a website or any e-commerce solution, right? So these the way I looked at problems before, when I was in mechanical engineering, is the same way I look at problems now, right? What has changed is how we solve problems. What are the tools that we use? Like the tools I used in mechanical engineering was different, but when it comes to software solutions, the tools are different. Like it is not a physical system, but it's a more of a coding
Okay,
solving.
so thank you, Supun. Now let's go to a different uh, angle, right? You have been involving in the AI domain for the about last 12 to 15 months at Future Riola,
Yeah.
working in different domains, different products, right? So AI is everywhere. Everybody talks about AI, and every day you have a new tool coming in or new version coming in. The new releases are coming in, right? But how many of users actually knows what can AI do, right? And also in terms of business sense, uh, actually whether the business owners have realized the potential of creating real business value from AI.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, AI is a buzzword. Like some instances it's overhyped, some say it's underhyped. But the talk is there. Like everybody wants to talk about AI, everybody is interested in doing something with AI. But when it comes to adaptation, it's a little bit slow, right? So in global context, say like the like more advanced economies are moving into AI implementations where it might be a simple, we say a RAG solution, say a retrieval augmented generation, where there's a knowledge base involved and the AI model is doing is retrieving
Yeah,
information.
rack products are basically like notebook LM, that kind
Yes,
of
yes,
products. Yeah.
exactly. So even like something simple as that, uh, I think the like not using. I mean, the vast majority of people globally and in even in the Sri Lankan space use say ChatGPT, Notebook LM, Gemini, say Grok, Claude, right? These generic AI tools everybody uses on a day-to-day basis,
Yeah,
right?
but the problem is how to create business value using maybe one tool or maybe a
Yeah,
couple of tools. Uh, Users using different tools and they have the capability of using it, and they can in terms of productivity gains, right? Things like that is there. But when it comes to practical application at an enterprise level, right? What are the challenges that you see? Whether it's the knowledge gap within the employees or the business owners uh, still not have understood what AI can actually do,
Yeah.
or where to start.
Yes, I think that's the case, right? So I believe like we've engaged with over last 15 months or so with multiple customers, like expanding over different domains: healthcare, banking and finance, tourism, education, and all of these situations. What I have seen is, uh, so since AI is a buzzword and everybody is talking about AI, even though when you go to social media, when you go to YouTube, Facebook, whatever, there is AI. So these clients, these leadership level people, the C-suite, maybe the director level, these guys know, they know there is something, and some implementations can be done. The actual uh, understanding is not there, right?
Actual understanding of
Some
how to create the real value, and where to
Yes.
how to get an ROI through any
Yeah.
kind of AI solutions or an
Yes,
implementation.
I'm not referring to everyone.
Yeah,
There are organizations with real good digital transformation teams, and they are doing their work. Doing their research, like where they can apply AI implementation in their organization, where they can improve, where they can automate tasks, where they can improve workflows and all that. But most of the time, the thing is they don't know, like there is AI and this thing can do this stuff, but how to implement it practically within the organizations. So
that's the other
that's
problem.
the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So
problem
everybody
I
knows
see.
the tools are there, right? And most of the people know these other things can be done through ChatGPT or different
Mm.
other AI tool. But how to implement that within your business context to create value and to gain to have like an actual ROI? That's where the gap is
Yeah,
actually.
that's
Right.
very capture. I mean, there are early adapters. Like
Okay.
we are working with few clients. So there are early adapters where they explore the what are the opportunities that are there within the organizations. Like most of the time, it's not uh, say a technology problem. Technology is there, right? It's a process problem actually, right? How to implement this, like without hurting their business. Like it can't be like you do any implementation within the organization, and then the next day, if it becomes a problem, so that's there's no value, right? So what say I would say, if you take an AI implementation project, I would say nearly 75% of the work is getting ready,
Mm.
planning this thing out, right? Uh, phasing it out, how to do the change management, right? How to organize the knowledge base, right? So every organization has data, right?
Mm.
It might be scattered, it might be in Excel sheets, it might be in a PDF somewhere, it might be in an email inbox somewhere, right? It's there.
Yeah, in my opinion, that's the reality. Every organization
It has,
basically they have tons of data, which is will be more valuable,
yeah.
which can turn into more management insights rather than raw data sitting in a one Excel file or a few different legacy systems which are not interconnected, right?
Mm,
And let's stop from there. I will take you to the employee angle, right?
mm,
Now, if you go to whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everyone, all these influencers, people who are actually working on it, thought leaders comes and say that your job is going to get replaced, right? And also we are hearing news whether it's McKinsey to all these large consultancy firms to then IBM to everywhere that a lot of entry levels jobs are completely get wiped off, right? That's reality is there.
yeah.
But even I think recently uh, I saw some articles. uh, the founder of Google DeepMind, right, has said that if your job is 100% connected to the computer and everything is done through the computer, there's a high chance that in future your job can get displaced, right?
Yeah.
uh, so with all these things, uh, employee also they are also going through some level of anxiety, where what will happen to my job, what will happen to my role if the organizations implement AI, what I'm going to do. That is there from one angle. And also set of employers, right, the business owners also trying to use AI to So the whole objective is to reduce the number of employees in the
Mm.
organization. So what are the risks of these two, different perspectives
Yeah, I mean, uh, a huge transformation is happening, right?
that we have to
Like
understand
typically
that?
that we have to
Yeah.
understand, and that we have to understand with that we can't stop it, right? It will eventually happen, right? So what I think is AI, like directly replacing an AI model replacing your job, like some entry level jobs are actually replaceable. Like if the job comes, the duty list comes with a like a repetitive task list, like sort of a data entry operator, maybe some
So
sort of
if you are
like a
doing
customer support.
something continuously through a computer on a day in day out, there is a high chance
High
that job,
chance.
but it
Yeah.
could be maybe by the end of this year that job will no longer exist. Yeah.
Yes, right. I mean, in a global context within this year,
Yeah.
right? But for Sri Lanka locally, it will come a little bit later, but it will come
Yeah.
eventually. But there's not stopping that because businesses are built to make profit, and they continuously try to reduce cost and try to improve their efficiencies, and then these things comes, AI models comes, AI agents comes in, right? Then if the businesses have uh, I would say a really smart intern, right? Like this is intern is really smart,
Hmm.
yeah, and has access to a lot of knowledge,
Hmm.
say the whole knowledge base of the company,
Hmm.
right? And he's also really smart. Only thing that person, the AI model, needs is guidance,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
With guidance, this really smart intern
Hmm.
can replace entry level jobs, and as you said, someone who is doing their job
Yeah.
completely
So
through a
what you're
complete
trying to
screen.
say is, yes, AI tools are there, but there should be people who has the domain knowledge to guide AI tools, right?
Yes.
Then it can convert it to a massive transformation for the organization and create a lot of business values,
Yes,
right?
so it is happening already in the software industry
Yeah.
actually. Like coding, AI agents can code really well,
Yeah.
right?
But you
Even
need somebody to
guide it,
guide
like
it, and also
yes.
if AI has done like a fundamental error there, which is still happening right
Yeah,
now.
it's happening, it's
Yeah.
happening, it's happening. So what we would do is, like, say in a in the previous context, you have a software team where there's a project manager, senior engineers, like front
Quality
end
assurance.
engineer,
Yeah.
yeah, quality assurance, like say 7 or 8 people for a team. But now if you have a single senior engineer with good experience and skills, give him AI models with coding capabilities, right? You can replace the rest of the team, like the project management, the QA part, everything can be automated, but a senior engineer has to guide everyone, guide all the agents, like look at, give feedback,
Hmm.
right? Make corrections.
Hmm.
Then like actually within our company we are trying this out. Like
Hmm.
it's really successful,
Hmm.
like mostly for CRUD systems. Like I would say CRUD is like, I'm not being too technical, CRUD is like where there's a database,
Hmm.
right? Where the system engage with the database to create a data point or read the data point or modify or update or delete,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
CRUD means create, read, update or delete,
Okay.
right? So most of the systems are like that,
Hmm.
right? So when it comes to those kind of systems, whether it's an e-commerce, whether it's an appointment management system, all these kinds of base systems, uh, a, a, an engineer with these coding assistants, like within couple of
Hmm.
days, uh, with a cost of say less than $500,
Hmm.
you can do the whole project,
Okay.
right? So when obviously that's a less cost than having a 7 8 people team on payroll,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
obviously
So you don't have
beneficial.
an option, you have to do it. But I want to add something to what you said previously. Yes, the global context, this is happening right now, right? A lot of entry level jobs are, kind of completely wiped off from the system. But for Sri Lanka it might take couple of years, or maybe at least
Yeah.
3 to 4 years. But now, uh, isn't it a problem at a country level? Because you know why? Because end of the day, we are competing with the global enterprises, right?
Actually,
And we are at a comfort zone. The employees are at the comfort zone say that okay, no, we have been in the industry for about 15 years, 20 years. So my job is basically
no.
protected, right? And the business owners thinks okay, yeah, is there, but when it hits Sri Lanka, it might take couple of
Yes,
years,
yeah,
right?
but it will
But
hit
in the
really hard.
but in the meantime, when you go and compete, your product and services were
Costly
much more expensive than when you compare the
competitors.
global context, because they'll come up with new products, tools, etc., to create more with less. So that's AI is all about creating more with less, no,
Yeah.
right? So I think we are actually in a scenario like we are in that just before tsunami, that you are like everything is
Yes.
very calm, right? But once it hits, right,
Yeah.
that's where the problem starts coming in.
Yeah. So, like within the software industry, actually, Sri Lankan software industry, like a large amount contributes to foreign customers.
Yes.
Like even ourselves, a huge portion is from foreign customers, right? So right now, the advantage they have over other competitors to us is we are cheap,
Mm.
right? Our labor is like say in Europe, when you have to hire a software engineer, could be say more than $7,500,
Mm.
right? But they can get a software engineer from Sri Lanka for say $4,000.
Mm.
So there's a price benefit for them.
Mm.
So that's the advantage we have now, right? But it
Yeah, but
will,
I think it's no longer there, right? Because the biggest reason is I'm seeing. So I basically get from my friends, colleagues, etc. This people who are looking for internships in the software industry, right? Who has a high national diploma in computer science or software engineering or bachelor's in software engineering. What I feel is it's very hard to find a internship for a and like IT role right now,
yeah.
right? So but that itself I think says that we industry in terms of number of employees it's shrinking, especially at the
S-
level of SC, the software engineering, right? How do you think feel about that? What's your take on that?
Yeah. So, like as I said before, that's what happening. Like, you keep you retain the senior engineers, you give them AI tools, and you lay off the junior levels, right? In a economical perspective for a software business, that makes sense,
Hmm.
right? So, in the other, if you look at this from an industry perspective,
Hmm.
we always need to nurture new talent as well, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like you can't like completely cut off the junior levels, but now there are more engineers, more fresh graduates than there are opportunities, right? So there's a competition, a
Yeah, I
huge
like that.
competition,
So there are fresh graduates in the market more than the
more than the
opportunities what we have.
opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a daily basis, like our emails get a lot of internship require. Like we have interns,
Hmm.
we support that ecosystem, but like there is not enough opportunities for everyone.
Hmm.
So even as a fresh graduate, I think you have to arm yourself, right? You
Hmm.
have to arm yourself with AI, right? You have to know the core principles,
Hmm.
the base of the engineering stuff, say when it comes to development, software development, but you have to be able to use AI as well.
So I want to ask a question now. So previously, when a software engineer intern joins an organization, he'll get about maybe 6 months to 1 year to understudy
Mm,
someone and work in projects at a very lower level,
mm,
basic coding, right, documentation, whatever. So there was a
mm.
training process that where by doing that
Yeah,
they understood how the things are actually happening. But now all these tasks, right,
yeah,
in our not in the IT context, in the business context, what we say is these are more a lot of leg work,
liquid.
right? But there are no longer no longer there are legwork in a system because everything is done through AI,
Yeah,
right? So how can they get the exposure, the the training, right? The training period, maybe you and I had, right? Even though we are not software engineers, so we come from different backgrounds, we also had that training period, or at a junior level, uh, executive, that level, right?
Mm.
So can, how can they get that exposure?
That's a real challenge actually. Yeah,
Yeah, because
I
from the
said
day
so.
one, they have to work as a middle manager. Intern to middle manager part, that part is taken by AI.
Yeah,
Now it's a challenge. How do you think, like, especially in the software engineering industry, how can they get that exposure?
yeah. So this is actually a real problem we have, like fresh undergraduates, like who seek internships or trainings that these guys are facing, right? So I would say is, uh, I mean, the knowledge is there, right? You would like back in our days, not like that, right? With it. Now you can access a vast knowledge base from your computer or mobile phone screen, right? So they can practice, right? Say, like, find out a small business, like look for a small business, like go there, visit them, and look at their problems, their pain points. I'm not saying a big enterprise systems, but look at a small problem and try to give them a solution using software, right?
Yeah, so one day their biggest advantage would be the that problem solving skills, not
Yes,
actually the
not
basic coding.
coding,
Yeah.
not
Okay.
coding.
Now I think we are coming into the
Yes.
real issue. So for the future, if software engineers wants to be wants to retain in the system, they actually have to become a
So
good
problem
problem solver.
solver,
Okay. Okay.
right? So that's the hard, like repetitive parts automation, like as you said, like usually what usually happens is when you come into a company as an intern, you might get to code the web pages, websites, maybe e-commerces, or some dashboards for a bigger system, like legwork, as you said,
Mm.
right? But now these things you can just prompt it out, right? So senior engineers there to do the core problem, solve the core problem. For these legwork stuff, for small dashboard and say a landing page or stuff, you can just prompt it out. So that's the current situation. Then, I mean, in Sri Lankan context as well, most of the software companies has already started doing this,
Okay.
right? I mean, there are layoffs happening right now in some companies, right? So uh, so this is like in a business context, from their side, from a business's side, that's the solution for them to compete with the global market, right?
One of the other perspective is, Supun, that when it comes to enterprise level AI adaptation, the trust factor, right? So because so in terms of cybersecurity, in terms of regulation related to consumer privacy, there are so many things are involving, right? So one thing is, organizations or the business leaders are reluctant to give too much authority to users to use AI the way they want, right? That is like a fair argument, because you're dealing with a lot of sensitive information, and it has to be dealt carefully, right? Then the other angle is, so how organizations can use AI responsibly, uh, without harming any of these information, the sensible information that they have. I know you're working with a couple of products that where AI will use only your informations more responsible way, and provide output for people to use, right? So tell me something about that.
Yeah, see that these are some of the, the first questions that we get asked when we go to a client
Yeah.
to pitch a product. So, like some of these companies, like would say, when it comes to an AI implementation, the knowledge base that certain AI model will use plays a key role, right? So some of the companies, some of these companies, these knowledge bases are proprietary, right? So they don't want to share these information with anyone else, right? They want to keep it internal. They care about the security. So I mean, it's the compliance part and all that. like they want to do an AI implementation, but without compromising any of the aspects, like without revealing, say, not too much information, internal information to outside parties. So practically and technically this can be done, right? So if you can recall, I said earlier 75% of the work of an AI implementation is getting ready, getting prepared, like set up the security architecture, like uh, do the security guardrails for, like,
Mm.
say the AI model is, as I said before, this is a really smart intern, right? But this intern doesn't know, if this intern doesn't know what to say or what not to say, right? And we have to be careful
So
in,
that's where these all these guardrails and everything
yes, that
it's
comes
come
into
into play.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So planning this out, considering all the avenues, all the edge cases and everything, will give you a perfect system where there's no compromises on security or data breaches or uh, compliance as well, right? So I mean, even in Sri Lanka current context, you know, when it comes to technology, usually banks, BFSI, like finance institutions,
Mm.
these industries are the early adopters. Like this case, Sri Lanka
And
is
also the other
also,
one who has to be very
yes,
responsible in
yeah,
terms of AI implementation, because one issue could,
like revoke the license, right?
yes.
So they have to be really careful in terms of regulatory and compliance situations. So uh, I saw recently actually Google has done an digital transformation project with an AI implementation. They said 60, I don't recall the exact numbers, but they say 70% of workload has been automated in a bank. This is in a bank, right? So this is doable, right? Even in Sri Lanka, some of the local banks have done. I mean, these are not big, large AI implementations where they
Yeah,
had a lot of data and all that, but
yeah, things like information screening to
yes,
so in some certain banks I think they're using AI heavily to determine the loan amounts,
yes,
right?
risk,
The credit worthiness of the
mm,
client. These things I think are now
yes.
almost 100% happening through AI, right?
Yes, I mean credit under, risk underwriting. Say, uh, you know, if like when it comes to loan facilities and finance and all that, before the bank offers their client this facility,
Mm.
they have to do a risk profile and
Mm.
whatnot, whether this person is capable of, whether they are capable of recovering the
Amount,
loan
yeah.
facility, and whether this guy is stable and all that. These risk underwriting part was done in a very manual way, right? Previously,
Previously, yeah.
yeah. So someone has to, like, use Excel sheets, some, like
Yeah,
various
go through
banks
level
use
17,
it,
18 documents, prepare a summary, keep that Excel
get crib
sheets. Yeah,
reports, get
yes.
bank details and all that. So like with AI, this underwriting is, I mean, not, I mean, that's uh,
There could be still human intervention will be there to do the
yes.
final say, but
So I would say human in the loop,
human
that
input.
should be there
Yeah,
always.
yes.
Like you can't trust an, you don't trust an intern to do
So
it.
interestingly, Supun, in our the AI course which is about to launch in a couple of days' time, we brought this method called sandwich method, where the if you take a burger bun, right?
Mm,
So you have the top bun, which is what we call a human layer, and inside then you have the burger bun. Actually, the burger
mm.
that's we call the AI layer, and again you have the bottom bun that is again a human. So it's always human, AI, human.
Human.
Human guide or human give information to AI's tool to come up with an output, right, or solution. But again, a human has to be validated. I think at an enterprise level, whether it's bank or any other institutions, right, in a supermarket, that should be
That
the
should be,
way to do it.
yes.
Because if you think
Yeah.
no, entire thing is AI, okay, I gave everything to AI, now he will take it off, take it over
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there, that will
yeah.
be the disaster,
That will
right?
be, I mean, it might not be a disaster at some cases, but some, you can't guarantee this,
Yeah,
like, because AI is really confident,
yeah,
even though they are wrong
yeah,
in some cases,
very, yeah,
right?
yeah, yes, yes, yeah.
See?
So
Right.
because the thing is, if they know only, let's say they know only about 70% of, so 70% of facts are there for them
Yeah.
to understand, to go through, check whatever is
Yeah.
available. Balance 30, this gradually come up with something else, right?
Yeah.
Which could be very truthful when
Yeah.
you read it, but actually not.
Not
Yeah.
right.
So
So
unless otherwise it's something like notebook LM or whatever, that where
yeah.
you give resources and you specifically say that's only these resources will be accessible. That's always a question.
Yeah, like when it comes to an implementation, you have to have those guardrails, you have to have those boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, like, you don't, like, as I said, this is a really smart intern,
Yeah.
right? You don't trust an intern to do like very
CEO's role, no.
CEO level stuff, like
Yeah.
heavy decision making and stuff. But but this intern is not smart enough to do everything.
Mm.
But when it comes to critical decisions,
Mm.
right, human should be in the loop. The burger bun thing, yeah, that's
Sandwich
should,
method.
yeah, sandwich
Yes,
method.
yes, yes. We have been very thoughtful about when we implement, when we are developing our course. So add to what you said, Supun, I think the problem is now there is, so we are moving from, we are now, if most of the people still, even the business users, I have seen many people, they know AI tools, right? And so some of them know how to write a prompt with giving the role to context to
Hmm.
output format to task, everything's that's been done. But the problem is most people are using it as a search engine, right?
Hmm.
ChatGPT, they search something. But the real scenario is we are moving from search to conversational now, right?
Yeah.
How you have, how you answer like a logical set of questioning, how you reason out. So that part is lacking. What do you think? That is that the reality?
Yeah, in some cases, yes. So like there are people, there are professionals that like who have really
I'm
explored
more referring to a typical
business.
business
Yeah,
users.
yeah, yeah, typical business use, that's the case
Mm.
actually. And like they are not using it to full potential, I would say,
Hmm.
right? Like, this really smart intern can do a lot of stuff, but you are just using it for like fraction of stuff that it can do, right? Because in some cases they might not trust it. So like, when you upload one of your documents or something to ChatGPT or Gemini, right, you don't, you can't guarantee that they would not use it
Hmm.
for their model training, or the information is not confidential there,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? This is a concern,
Hmm.
right? So I mean, that's a concern that could be solved easily actually.
Hmm.
You could have your own
So
private
most of the
models.
legacy organization, that one, even though they don't talk about it publicly, this is one reason, right? How can we trust a tool for us to give all the sensitive information, right? It could be okay, very attractive. The output could be very attractive, but
Mm,
can we trust it?
yeah.
That's a conversation. That's the mindset. I have spoken to a couple of organizations like that.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty obvious, cause like some of the companies, like some of the industries, like the knowledge is like
everything.
freely available,
Yeah, so that
everything
asset
is
knowledge is
there.
actually
There.
the biggest the critical factor for success. Yeah.
Yes, right. So like, when it comes to these consulting companies or these consulting businesses, like their methods and their ways that they do work,
Hmm.
right? These are proprietary stuff
Hmm.
that they are keeping them, those things internally,
Hmm.
right? Like some of the companies are there, like they have their own intranets, like private networks, where they use everything inside, only inside that networks,
Hmm.
right? They don't want to export that to the outside world, right?
Hmm.
Expose that to the outside world. So with those concerns,
Hmm.
right, say if that knowledge is available for an AI model to use, right? So that AI model will someday be like, consulting companies are facing this threat. Like,
Hmm.
if you don't have now, if you are going to start a business, right, you have a concept like, I'm going to do this thing, then you can go to Cloud or ChatGPT and do the market research,
Mm.
right?
They will
Draft out the
basically give you
business
the
plan,
market
right?
research, competitor analysis, the business
Everything,
model,
right?
social media post, so social media
Yeah,
strategy for the
this
next
is
three to
what
five years.
McKinsey was doing,
Yeah,
right?
and also then also they will have they will suggest this, so these kind of the skill set, these kind of AI agents that you
Yeah,
want to run the show,
yeah.
basically.
Then after that, when you start the business, and then the marketing part,
Yes.
that is also can be handed over the content generation, like even images, videos. Like now, locally also they are using AI generated ads and all that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's there.
yeah, and I think you point out this organizations like McKinsey. So I've been following these some of the articles that they have published. So they say actually the consultants are building AI models to replace consultants.
Yes, they are. They like.
That's
I
the
think
very interesting
this
analogy,
large.
right?
Yes, that
So
happens. Like, yeah, like this is like when like say when Google, like, no, say 15-20 years back, right? Say the internet came into being and all that happens. The website search engines are there. Companies like Google, like before this AI hype. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
before LLMs came into public use, I
yeah.
would say,
AI
right?
was always there,
Always there, right?
in,
This
like,
is
even if
like
you take
really old news.
yes, even I think the basic smart correction in a SMS platform,
Yes,
the
that's
underlying
a
technology
predictive
was
model.
model. And even if you look at things like Google Map, also was running on AI based
Yeah,
models.
routing
Yeah,
calculations.
yeah,
That
yeah,
these are various algorithms combined with
yeah,
prediction models and all that,
yeah.
right?
Then the ChatGPT came. Everyone still
Yes,
most of the people think
everyone
ChatGPT is the AI.
AI,
Yeah,
like that's the tip of the iceberg,
yeah, yeah.
right?
So if you can, back in the days, you had like if it was soap, it's about sunlight. If it was toothpaste, it's about signal.
Now
The
it's
only
AI
product they knew.
is
For AI, the only product people, the majority knows is
yes,
actually
it's
the
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
They are the ones who first
They
opened
still
the
have, I think, the first move advantage that they could.
yes, yes, and the reason they've advanced so fast, because of the reason that they have opened it to public use, right?
Yeah,
Because
at the initial, the free of charge.
yes,
Yes,
then only the model started improving drastically, right?
yes, yeah,
So that advantage, like Google had AI models in their cupboards and AI, their R&D labs and everywhere,
mm,
but out of nothing, OpenAI came in, ChatGPT is out, people, everyone is using this,
yeah,
then the model gets improved. After that, only these other companies have opened their models to the
yeah. I
public,
think
right?
it took only a couple of days for them to reach the first million users. Still, that's a record in
Yes.
the global context. None of the other softwares or product has been reached up to that level within a very short period of time.
I mean,
Right?
this, like I say, like ChatGPT is like when you first use it, this is really attractive, right? This
Yeah,
guy can write stuff like you
yeah,
ask this guy answers it, right?
yeah,
Do
yeah.
the research and
That's the
all
only
that.
thing
So
we
that
did. We use it for grammar corrections, write
yeah, write
emails.
emails. Yeah, that's why people
That's
starts.
it.
Yeah.
So we discussed this scenario. Okay, so if somebody wants to start a business, the research to the business models to we discuss about AI skills, skill based AI agents, etc. How long it will take the world? I know it's happening right now, but how long it will take uh, for organizations, right, to have employees, AI enabled employees. That means people has AI skills
Skills,
plus AI employees.
agents.
In your organization structures, we have three different set of employees. You have very
Yeah,
legacy,
yeah.
very classic set of employees who are coming from with too much of experience. Then you have the very intelligent youngsters with a
Young
lot of
crowd.
AI knowledge, right? And also you have fully AI agents with different skills. Basically, the HR manager can decide what kind of skill that you have to allocate to
Yeah,
this
I
person.
mean a whole hiring process, like say up to 90%, you can an AI model can do this, right? A
Yes.
final decision can be made
Yeah.
by a human, but
Yeah. So
everything else
so in that
evaluation.
context, actually, the head of the department has to know how many AI agents I have in my.
Yeah, the context would be different, right?
Yeah. So in my department, okay, I have 7 AI
AI
agents.
stuff.
Yeah, and I have like 7 normal business users, and also I have about 10 to 15 people who actually
Traditional.
work with AI. This will be interesting
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. ecosystem is changing drastically, right? So the way we look at things with AI rather than without AI is
Yeah.
different, right?
Yes.
So I mean, I would suggest we have to be open to these opportunities. We have to explore ideas where we can, like, I mean, I'm inviting to these all the businesses and even individuals, look at how AI can improve your life or how AI can improve your businesses, right? Start with something small, something a small pain point, right? Like, look at how it can be automated, how it can be handled with
Yeah, I think
using AI
that's the
directly.
advice. Even people like you, Supun, right? Even us as educators, that we should tell people, because nobody has figured it out 100% yet,
No.
right? I don't think it. Not even AI companies, right? They are pumping billions of dollars every day,
Mm.
thinking that this will do a massive
Yeah,
transformation to
I
the
mean,
world, right?
they are in the different business,
Business.
so
But by any chance, if this, right, all these investments not make enough results in the future, there'll be economic crash as well.
the bubble will
Yeah. So what we call, we are in a
burst.
AI bubble,
Bubble.
right? That's one
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
But the other side is, like you said, it can be a very small step, right? Even for a business user, individual user, for an organization, right? I read a couple of. I wanted actually to understand where this AI can add value, or where can start. There's a JP Morgan, there's the
Mm.
financial investment bankers consultancy, that segment. So they have initially started doing research, right, using AI tools, right? And also the same thing parallelly they have done with the the actual research assistants, right? Then they have compared together, understood the human was still doing it better, right? Then
Uh-huh.
that information they have again fed it to the AI tools. Again they have run it for a couple of times, but now almost 70-80% of the I think almost 90% of the reports coming out from JP Morgan, it's predominantly with
Yeah,
AI. But again, yes, like what we said, human
should be
should
there.
go through and approach. So it could be one step for them, right? Even for our
Yes.
organization, it could be simply automating your emails or
Yes.
task calendar or whatever. But you have to start.
Yes.
You will not
That,
figure it
that
out
like
exactly where it
so
starts.
I would say, like, most what what you can automate easily are the low value tasks. Like
Yes.
you said, uh, an email automation or something, like a calendar booking management or
Oh,
something, like
SOP
customer support,
development,
SOP
customer
development,
support.
contracts and policies, right?
Yeah.
See these things. So when you start with
In
these
the
small
organization, I
stuff,
think even the business users will learn. If you take from my experience in your logistic and supply chain, developing these SOPs, writing these like 100 pages, it's not a very very
yeah, pleasant thing.
pleasant task to do, right? I think there are a whole lot of things that we do without creating any value addition. That should be the first step to start, right?
Yes.
That's where you.
Then you save time.
Yeah.
Then you can use that time to focus on more high value tasks,
Yeah.
focus on more innovation, right?
Yes.
Focus on building more value for your customers, right?
Mm.
That's how a business should look at this.
Yeah.
Like, you are getting really smart interns,
Mm.
like, who can do repetitive tasks and all that. That will save your time
Yeah.
ultimately, with a lesser cost, right? Where you can focus on more high value tasks on creating value
Mm.
within your organization or for your customers.
So this is where actually, let's say, organization is spending money on AI implementation and all, but they have given less focus for user trainings, for users to get that
Yes.
training. Because the real value comes if they say that, because you are the business user, you have been in this particular designation for about 10 years, right? You know all the pain
Mm.
points. The day that you understand AI, it's not just writing a prompt or ChatGPT, but the day that you understand the potential of AI, you know actually, okay, these are the things that I unnecessary things I have been doing this for last 10 to 15
Yeah.
years, I
Yeah.
can do. So he can go and explain this to the management, say, sir or madam, this is these things that we can automate. So that's can also make a lot of difference, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, like, you don't have to focus on big, like, you know, big data visualization with, like, generating big, like, critical insight and all that. This is at the far end of the AI
Yeah.
implementation, right? You have to start with small steps.
Yeah,
We'll
but
say
you said,
daily small
like you said,
steps.
it's not about replacing employees, right? So you're freeing up time, where
Yeah.
that freeing up time, that free time that you can, actually think, right, and do research. So
Yes.
what is our next step? What are the other things
Yeah.
that we can do, right?
When you can scale, right? I mean, when it comes to scaling a business,
Hmm.
right? I mean, you have really good idea on this, right? So uh, most of the time, like what I advise it you, like, let's say there's no AI in the world, right? There's no AI. Let's talk about a context without AI. So if a business has to expand, scale their businesses, what they have to do is eventually, without AI, what they have to do is automate repetitive tasks, right? So like rather than doing stuff manually, you can use digital systems, right? Then the time is saved. Then your employees have more time to focus on more value added tasks, right? So scaling is something like that, right? So you need to save time, uh, reducing doing low value tasks, and you have to delegate your tasks.
Supun, at the moment, I think you're involving in a lot of projects in terms of AI, right? So tell me some interesting projects that you're working in. What are the things you do?
Yeah. So the most interesting stuff I can tell you about, right? So like, because of the confidentiality
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the
You don't have to
client, but
name the clients, but
I'll yeah,
yeah.
I'll say a few stuff, right? Say, so like we have gone to market with some small products, like, so the reason is because uh, we are like doing something new, right? The adaptation is low, the knowledge of these solutions is low, right? So we've come up with some simple products. These are knowledge orchestrations products, right? Where you use an AI model to orchestrate a knowledge base, whether it's about HR contracts policies, or whether it's about a custom support playbook, right? So these small stuff, like we are working some with, for some clients we are doing some big implementations. Some of them are pretty much R&D level stuff, but small knowledge orchestration solutions,
Hmm.
right? These will like create instant value, right? They're like you
So these are the products that you have named, like this Omni.
Omni and Query. these
Okay.
are these are actually basically knowledge orchestration products, where there is a knowledge base, whether it's say HR
Short cycle
contracts, like,
implementation.
yes, like say 4 weeks we can do an implementation,
Okay.
right? So
Instant value.
instant value,
Yeah.
instant value. Like if you come into like customer support systems,
Hmm.
like we have this product which is an omni-channel customer support engine.
Hmm.
So say if you have a call center with say 10 people as staff, picking up calls to handle customer inquiries or customer support queries, right? So they will get calls from the whatever the business is, like almost all the businesses that offer a service or a product to some kind of customers, they will have these customer support inquiries, right? Even if it's a small e-commerce user arts and crafts shop, you are getting customer inquiries, right? So the rather than focusing on like having dedicated staff to answer these questions and having these workloads, and when
So
they
it could
have
be
to,
related to product information,
yeah,
any customer
everything.
query,
So
anything.
anything, so
Yeah.
that is knowledge of orchestrations. And
Okay.
some it could be a small question, has like whether you have inventory of this certain product,
Okay.
right? So
So these products, the solutions are built based on completely avoiding hallucinations,
yes, the
with enough
guardrails are there.
guardrails,
Like,
etc.
so what we have to do is we have to have a boundary for this really smart intern,
Hmm.
right? So you will only work within this
Yeah,
boundary.
you
You
refer.
will only have access to these knowledges,
Hmm.
right? You will only answer these questions,
Okay.
right? If it's something this AI model can't handle,
Yeah. If I go and
is
ask who is the president of France, then
that is not relevant, right? You don't have to waste
Yeah,
tokens on
yeah,
that, right?
yeah. So apparently, those are some questions that they use to check whether these
Check
guardrails
whether
are
these
actually
ways
working.
are
Yeah, yeah.
working. Yeah, yeah. So like when it comes to regulated industries, right? The like if it's not a regulated industry, and if it's the data is not protected by like currently Sri Lanka also they have implemented the Personal Data Protection Act, right? So like even though like when we work with foreign clients, there are GDPR, say HIPAA for like personally identifiable information and health information. They are regulated, so our solution has to be compliant in with those regulations, so we have that experience.
Hmm.
But Sri Lanka has considered those things, enforced those things, data protection laws recently, right? But even though it's not ethical to, right? you know Someone like breach
Hmm.
the privacy of someone else, right? These businesses have at least a name or a phone number. Even if so, like people don't think this,
Hmm.
right? It's just a phone number,
Hmm.
but it's a protected information,
Yeah.
right? If someone's name or someone's phone number is also,
Yeah.
so this.
And also there are global incidents, even though we here we don't talk about it in the North America, the US, that side. This is a huge thing. There's a lot of regulation that you have to think about. So there
They
are
think
AI
this.
ethics, there are AI regulations, GPDR to
mm,
customer privacy. All these things has to be in place when, especially when you are dealing with a enterprise environment. I think some
yes.
organization they kind of do like a cleaning of data, right? If it is phone numbers or anything that
Yes,
any
yes. So
identifiable information, they'll remove.
even our solutions when it comes to regulated industry, even if it's not a regulated industry,
Hmm.
right? As a practice,
Yeah.
we care about data privacy, right? So as a practice, even like there are some instances from our solutions, the AI model, we don't give certain information to the AI model itself,
Hmm.
right? So they will get a encrypted token or something,
Hmm.
right? So say a bank account number, right? So the model will ask, say if you are implementing a solution for a bank, a
Hmm.
customer support system,
Hmm.
right? uh, One of their customers logs into this chatbot law through WhatsApp. Like the channels are like whether it's Messenger, WhatsApp,
Hmm.
or a web chat interface, it doesn't matter. If this customer engaged with the AI model, and then the model request, like some, you have to do a verification whether the exact customer is talking, right? Exact customer is conducting the chat, right? When you request those information, even though the customer types it out and puts it into the chat,
Hmm.
the AI model doesn't get that exact. We have to make sure that
Okay.
happens.
Okay.
Doesn't
Okay.
get that exact account number, ID number, whatever the information.
He'll ignore and move forward.
He'll just pass it over to verify,
Okay.
but he can't see it.
Okay. Okay.
It can't see
So
it.
that level of
Security,
security, the
date,
governance mechanisms, they are in your product.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is, we have to plan it out. We have to know what are
What are
the
our
corners
boundaries?
and
Yeah.
boundaries. We have to plan for it.
Yeah. So we are, I think, moving into the final segment, right? So one final thought, Supun, since you are in the AI domain, right? I know you're working on a lot of interesting new projects, even though
Yeah.
you can't disclose some of the names because of the sensitivity of information. Uh, Tell me, what is the message that you can give it to employees, business users out there, right, about AI, what they can do, and also for the enterprises, right? What's a one simple message that you can give it to both these two segments?
Okay. I would say, even if as an individual or an organization, a business entity, so the first thing you have to do is research this stuff. What AI can do, what are the
Understand,
capabilities,
educate yourself
understand, educate yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
That's the first thing, like that. that's what technology comes into
Technology.
play.
Yes.
Technology
Yes.
comes into
Yeah.
play. So educating yourself and understanding the ecosystem, what's there, what are the technical these are not really complex information or like too technical stuff,
Yeah.
right? Like you can educate yourself and understand,
Hmm.
and then start with something small, a small pain point where you can do a little really small AI implementation.
Hmm.
Some of these things can, these users can do by themselves, right? No need to involve like people like us, consultants or integrators, right?
Hmm.
So you
Even to
can,
work with consultants, that's another gap, right? Because sometimes when you go to organization, if you have to create awareness about AI, and it will take a lot of
yeah,
your time
so we
as
are
well,
facing we are facing this
facing the same
problem.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we when we go to meet our
Yeah.
clients, right?
So
So other
70%,
than
70% of the
giving,
time it's bus before, you have to explain what is AI and what it
yes,
can do and what it can't do. Yeah.
yes, so rather than like directly like giving them the solution, like this is your problem, so
Or
this
moving
is the
into real business
solution, the
problem. Yeah.
real the actual
Problem.
thing.
Yeah.
But actual problem for, like, before that we have to like educate them what is AI, right? How it comes to play, why should you use this, and all this, you know, nurturing stuff we have to do it. This is a problem that we face as well. But I think gradually people are educating themselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
it that the trend has started actually. Even individuals, even the business entities, most of the people are actually now looking at things
Yes. I mean, we are
little
getting
differently
quite a number of inquiries.
for
Like,
products.
yeah.
So that means they have some level of
Yes.
knowledge. Right. Thank you very much, Supun. For our viewers, the one final thought from me is actually AI is reshaping every industry, every job role, every entity. So educate yourself, read, research, understand what you can do with AI, and even like Supun said, you start smaller. It could be a basic prompt engineering activity, but somewhere down the line, you have to get into AI. That's the final thought. Thank you very much. We'll see you from another episode with an interesting topic. Thank you, Supun.
Thank you, Samir. Thank you.